got hurt, oblique injury, so he's still on the roster, but he's not playing.
There's deer right in front of us. Doesn't know where in the world. Wind's right there. It's a great sign going your tree stand when deer in the plot. It's 4:17. We're gonna scoot up the road and get up a tree. Early on, we had a yearling buck come out into the staging area, our little corner off the food plot that we'd planted in clover. A little later, we had a doe and a fawn come out and actually sniff around the scrape about 20 yards to our left. Yearling bucks are extremely curious, especially this time of year. It wasn't long till that yearling buck slid behind us out of the staging area, downwind of our stand, and ended up right in the scrape where the doe and fawn had been.
Growing Deer TV is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops, also by Reconics, Trophy Rock, Muddy Outdoors, Non-Typical Wildlife Solution, Eagle Seed, Nikon, Winchester, Setmaster, Dead Downwind, Antler Dirt, Lacrosse Footwear, Redneck Hunting Blind, Bloodsport Arrows, Prime Bows by G5, Outdoor Edge Knives, and Flatwood Natives.
Between watching the doe and fawn and yearling buck hit a couple of scrapes along the field edge, it was an interesting afternoon, but we didn't put a tag on any deer. I always enjoy spending time in a tree, but this time of year when the temperatures are still mild, the colors are starting to show up in the leaves, it's really therapeutic to sit in a tree and take it all in.
I just nailed him. I mean, nailed Waldo. Dude, you had to work. I can't help it.
Pro staffer Seth Harker had a chance to take his younger brother Aaron hunting. They're hunting the same hidey-ho food plot where Seth tagged a wish list buck named Waldo a couple weeks ago. This week, they're after another wish list buck named Rambler. There's more going on than hormones changing in deer this time of year. You just never know what critter you're gonna see when you're out deer hunting.
It's a recording, yeah. It's October 15. Your wireless isn't on. Oh, stop. Good now? Yeah. My brother's behind the camera. We're in the same food plot. He killed Waldo in opening night. Rambler's been in the area, so hopefully he might show up. If he doesn't, we'll be more than happy to kill a doe, so if the white oaks ain't holding them back, hopefully they come this food plot.
Before Rambler comes in, a younger buck is providing all the entertainment. This younger buck senses something is following him.
There's a buck behind him, I think. Here he comes. When he's looking right at you, he looks good. Yeah, he's a young deer, dude. What is he there, 60 or 50? 58. 55. Just never killed one that big. What's that in the pond? I was wondering the same thing. He's wondering too.
This beautiful bobcat had apparently been stalking this buck, and
and decided he'd make a Navy SEAL approach to the beachhead. This time, the buck turns the table and actually confronts the cat. Those large antlers coming through the grass are probably a little intimidating for the cat, and he scurries off and seeks the safety of the nearby woods. Predator and prey have went round and round since the earth was created, and very rarely someone like Seth captures it on film for the rest of us to enjoy. Seth and Aaron not only got to see a great predator-prey interaction, but got to see the result from the prey's point of view. Notice this buck rub urinating? Researchers have known for a long time that when fawns, does, or bucks are nervous or often put in a new situation, they'll rub urinate. It was a great evening for the Harker brothers. They got to see something few hunters will ever see, a bobcat stalking a buck. They've got more hunts planned, and I'll bet Aaron has an opportunity to use that tag. It's the third week of October, and even 20 years ago when I was doing my master's work on scrape behavior of white-tailed deer, I know that in most of the whitetails range, this is prime time for deer to be using scrapes. Even though it's prime time, it doesn't mean you can simply find the scrape, hang a stand, and tag a whopper. For example, this scrape doesn't excite me a lot. I don't even have my scent control boots on. I'm not rushing to hang a stand on this tree. It's out on the edge of a large feeding field. This field receives a lot of activity at nighttime or during cold weather, but I don't look for a buck to be out here using this scrape during late October when it's 70 degrees. Most obvious part of a scrape to most hunters is the ground portion. Big old circle pawed out with all the debris removed, but you know, based on my findings as a research biologist and other people that have studied scrapes, the most important part of a scrape is the overhanging limb. And I've experimented in the past down an old logging road where there was 10 scrapes, and I would take every other scrape and clip off that overhanging limb, put it in a plastic bag and carry it out of the woods. And those 5 scrapes that I removed the overhanging limb died that day. No more activity. But the scrapes I did everything except physically remove the limb remained active. Based on those findings and research from other biologists, I really look at the overhanging limb and notice how busted up it is. Is it hanging down? Does it look like it's getting a lot of action? And if it is, then I will probably want to hunt at or near that scrape versus a scrape that doesn't show much wear and tear on the overhanging limb. When I'm looking for scrapes that I might hunt over, I want to find another reason for deer to be in the area besides just a scrape. And a really active, attractive food source like chinkapin acorns and soybeans and a scrape. Now that's a recipe that may result in a good dish of venison at the end. Sometimes deer don't develop a scrape or there's no tree to make a scrape where you'd really like deer to kind of stop and pause. This is a perfect example. There's bedding areas up above us and a hardwood corridor going right between the bedding areas. Deer are going to funnel right down that corridor, little pond we've created right here, and food plot. Great place, but how do we get the buck to stop right here? The answer can be as simple as a mock scrape. Adam actually cut this tree, wired it to the T-post with overhanging limbs at just the right height. In less than 2 days' time, had a nice 2-year-old buck come right in here and mark on this mock scrape. Think of mock scrapes as the billboard at church somewhere where you've got I have and you can have it or I need post-it notes up there. Everybody at church as he stops by and glances at it and checks it out. Same thing with a mock scrape or a scrape. Put it right here where deer are generically traveling in this area, and all of a sudden you create a couple of yard bottleneck. All the deer coming through here are going to come right here to read that billboard, and you know where the shot opportunity is going to occur. Hey YouTube viewers, did you know that we release a new episode of GrowingDeer.tv every Monday on our website, GrowingDeer.tv? Why wait to Wednesday when the current and all past episodes are at www.GrowingDeer.tv. A sign of the times is more and more people are posting pictures of wish list bucks on our Facebook page. We kind of use that as a daily way to take the barometer of deer activity throughout the whitetails range. Check it out, it might help your hunting. Most importantly, hope you have a chance to get outside and enjoy creation this week and listen to what the Creator is saying to you. Thanks for watching GrowingDeer.tv.